Welcome back to the Montego Bay. So the Mercedes. I was driving to meet a friend with a dog here in lovely Snowdonia to walk up a hill. It's not too far away. And got to the bottom of the road and lots of bad noises. And then it wouldn't really roll forward anymore. So I backed the car off, took the wheel off, and saw a big hole in the brake disc. And I was like, oh, that's new. Took the disc off, and I could see one of the bolts that holds the disc onto the flange had come out and run riot. This is more annoying because it also broke the brake caliper. And these are really expensive, really hard to get hold of. It's been a bit of a nightmare of a week trying to get hold of one of these ones. I thought I found a pair going for a good price from a company called, I think it's Buy Car Parts. And when they start emailing you asking for screenshots of your bank statement, I told him something, and I think we fell out after that. So hopefully GSF have found something for me. And I say hopefully because they use the wrong product image on their website. And I use their little chat facility, and hopefully it's just a admin error. So what I'm going to do now is start working on the Benz. I kind of figured whilst it's in the air, I got the wheels off, I can do something which I didn't get round to when I was putting it back on the road initially, and that's just some of the rubber bushings and ball joints in the front suspension. It's something I wanted to do. It scraped through the MOT originally, and he kind of said, I'll give you a pass now, but next time it comes back I want a few things sorted. So I'm going to honour my word there, and I think that's always a good thing to do if you have a friendly mechanic like that. So let's get going. So something I did a while ago is to try and replace the alternator belt in this thing, and it turns out you can't go to a parts shop around here and ask for an alternator belt because no one keeps V-belts in stock. Why? Those are all serpentine belts now. So before I can move this thing, I'm going to put the alternator and power steering belt on. And the joy of this car, which is the gift that it keeps giving, is it's just so easy and pleasant to tighten up these belts. And I thought I'd share that with you all, because I haven't done it on some other cars. It's a real pain in the ass, isn't it? Hey, Volkswagen and BMW. So, tighten up the power steering belt. You loosen this and this one. You loosen this one. There we go. And this will just bring this whole pump up and tightens the belt. Easy peasy. The alternator, this is a real gem. I like this. You loosen these two here, and there's another fastener down here. And then you just reef on this one, you tighten it up. That's it, done. I like. Okay. So, a lot of the stuff in this car are 13mm, and when I say 13mm, it's a German 13mm. It's not, oh, I can see my half-inch on here. God, those guys are fussy. So, everything on that power steering to tension it up is 13, but on the alternator it's 17. So, let's get some 17s. Now, don't fault with these diesel engines in the Mercedes. It's not the diesel engine, it's more the glow plug relay. They always crap out and they're expensive to replace. So I just wired in this 100 amp relay in, and a little button below the key. So let's fire it up. Oh, it's warm in here. It's a hot day. I'm usually in Wales. Okay, so that's a glow plug button. Give that a bit of a burn. Crank it. And as you can hear, very loyal car. So I've had to put some ramps up just so I can get my jack underneath. Okay. Let's get this thing in the air. Okay, so on these cars, it's a taper roller bearing on the front. It uses this funky Allen key pinch bolt to keep the bearings in, which I really like. I can't be asked with all the split pins all the time. So that comes out, no washer, there's your taper roller. Put that down somewhere cleaner. I have spare bearings, don't worry. But this is what I was greeted with when I first took my wheel off. Oh yeah, there's your holiday. You can see cracks here. Maybe you can't. I can. There's a punch through there. so this one's a bit more damage. Also, more depressingly, you can see it snapped the ear off on the bolt, where the bolt goes onto the caliper, through the caliper rather. And that's a real headache, because these are really hard to get hold of. So let's hope the right one actually comes through. If it does, I'm yet to receive any confirmation from GSF, but I normally think they're okay. I don't mind you getting lucky. Hopefully you can see that. And bolt was in there, it's gone now. Not cool. So, next thing to do, compress this large, horrible, high tension spring. Probably undo this so that the shock come out, or lower it down. I will then have to break this ball joint, break this ball joint, get this lower arm off, this bolt off, and also, which just arrived, I'm going to change these upper arms, so I might try and get these first. Amusingly, I think this is the only Imperial thing on this car. 9/16. Let's get some support under that lower control arm so nothing pops out and surprises us. And probably get some axle stands under this thing. Hey. Okay, so to compress the springs in these cars, like I said earlier, they're high tension springs. You need a special tool. Oh, I'll go to my special tool drawer. I don't think this was the one. Some of you probably know what it is. Yes. So let's chuck this in. Try and compress some danger. This is going to be a right pain in the ass. I don't like doing these. It's just fiddly as. I don't know where to put you either. If you're not familiar to this, you have these two plates, and they try and fit them in somewhere like that. And it's pretty tricky to get these in delicately. picked up this hammer at a steam fair, quite cheap, and it's really shown itself recently. I'm a big fan. So, once those are in, now the fun bit. Alright, welcome aboard everyone. It's quite obnoxious in here, so I've got to speak up. But let's just get out of here. Say hello to our neighbour. So a friend of mine was after another car, and I suggested one that wasn't too far by, and said I'd go take a look for him. And I sent some pictures. The guy with the car was very keen to get rid of. Been there for a few years, and I think today is the day the sale is actually going to happen. So he's got a trailer. He's coming all the way from the north. He's on his way now, and I'm going to go give him a hand. So it's I think it's an 82 or an 83 Renault 4. It's a bit rusty, but for 50 quid, can't say no. I'd have it myself, but I've just got too much on. So I haven't started it. It's got an earthing fault, but the engine's free to turn over. There's holes in the floors in the usual places, but generally it's a pretty good car. It's unmolested. I don't think the mileage is too bad on it. But it'll make a good car when it's fixed. I don't know if he's going to restore it. I hope he kind of just leaves the patina. It's going to need a lot of work. It won't be on the road for a while, but come on, 50 quid. It's like a night out. So but, I don't know if you guys watch The Barn Find Hunter or Chasing Classic Cars, but I really think there's a lot to be said for just getting out there and talking to people rather than trying to cruise the internet for cars, because the bargains aren't online or the cool shit ain't online. Bloody get out there and the good stuff will come to you. So we are here. I'll let some cars go by and spin around. Don't have mirrors in this car, obviously. It's amazing what you can find on your doorstep. Here it is. Come on. There you go. I don't know a lot about these things, but they seem very quirky and charming. I think the owner picked it up as an MOT failure, he tells me. It's sat here for about 7 years. Needs a new pair of eyes. Oh no. I did try putting a battery up to it, but there was no crank, so yeah, pretty honest.
The German money, you're going to pay for all the trimmings then.
So, top arms are in, and I must admit, there's nothing more fun than doing suspension work when it works. That really flew in. I think a learning point, because we like learning points, is probably undo this one before we go into the engine bay to undo the bolt that goes across there. That would just make life a lot easier getting that bolt out. Not that was very difficult, it just could have been easier because we like speed. And I think the hardest bit was getting the springs out. I think I need to order more bushes for the lower arm because these look just shot. I think I can deflect that with my finger. So I think they need replaced. And of course, these are on their way. I don't know how to get